Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Welcome to Thoughts Provoked. I am your host, Nima Shiningstar L. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. We are going to jump right into these topics. First of all, let me give a shout out. Let me give a shout out to my cousin Zinzi. She's one of the many people that I know on social media that has the paparazzi. See, I said it right, paparazzi. Last time, I don't know why I kept saying Pandora. I guess because I have Pandora music on my phone, and because I've had like the little Pandora bracelets, like charm bracelets. But yeah, this is paparazzi. So she's one of the many wonderful and beautiful paparazzi distributors that I know on social media, and I love anybody that knows me knows that I love things that dangle. So I love this piece. I love it. It looks, to me, it kind of looks native. You know, when I think about Native American family members that I know and visited over the years when I was younger, they always seem to have pieces in the middle of their chest that hung low, that represented certain things in their lives and certain travels that they've gone on and certain tribes and certain just things that they've gone through. This is a paparazzi piece. I love it. It hangs. It's silver. I love the orange piece in the middle. It's kind of a reddish orange, but I love it. And it has the matching earrings. I have so much paparazzi right now, but the good thing is I wear it. So it's not like I'm buying it and it's just sitting. I'm literally wearing my pieces. You might see them on this Facebook Live show on Sundays. You may see it on IG. I believe today on IG, did I have one? Yeah, I actually had on another piece that I got from my cousin Zinzi. So shout out to my cousin Zinzi. Earlier, if you go to your IG, if you have an IG page, I do a segment called In the Arts Room with Nima, where I interview poets, business people, entrepreneurs, spoken word artists. Hey, Waddy Wad, peace and blessings, Wanda. And I did that episode tonight. So if you get the opportunity, go check it out. It's on IG. I had the interview at 7 p.m. with Reggie Floyd, okay? And that was super, super dope. Also known as Poet Profess. So, and shout out to him. It was a wonderful interview. So I actually had on a different piece that I got from my cousin Zinzi on there. And now I have on this piece, and I love this paparazzi. So I'm going to get right into it. I hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. And I heard a rumor that my Eagles was in the, in the line of the NFC East top, teams. I'm just saying, you can never count the Eagles out. They will make you watch an entire football game. Just when you think you know the score, you don't know the score. The Eagles will have you sitting on the edge of your seat every time they play. So, anyway, please like and share this video. If you don't like this video, share it anyway, because it may not be for you, but it may be for someone else. So, what we're doing tonight, you have to excuse me because I've had a couple of these. And allow me to say, if you are pregnant, operating heavy machinery, please do not drink. If you're driving, please do not drink. If you're under 21, please do not drink. Okay, that's my disclaimer. Otherwise, I'm drinking. So, tonight's topics, we're freestyling because I usually post a lot of comments and a lot of questions on my page. And you guys, hey, Patricia, peace and blessings. You guys jump on there and you answer the questions. So tonight we are doing just that. So I'm going to see who actually comes in the room to answer the questions live, or who just sits back and just stays quiet. And that's fine. So tonight, one of our topics, and you can jump in anytime, you can post your comment. One of the topics that we have for tonight is, how do you feel about open relationships? How do you feel about open relationships? Can you handle an open relationship? That's our first question, okay? So you can either answer that, you can give your comment. You don't have to give your comment. Another topic that we discussed on Facebook, and this is what I'm doing, and this is why I started doing that. Every so often during the week, I will post a random question, and I love and appreciate you guys because you guys jump on those questions. You answer those questions. You know that it's a safe space. If I see anybody attacking verbally, you know, you can do what you want on social media, but when it's on my page, I dead it in the water. So if I see somebody attacking someone verbally or being extra aggressive to that person, I will delete that person's comment because it's on my page. You know what I mean? It's a safe space to talk about what you want. So tonight, how do you feel about open relationships? Can you stand in an open relationship? Okay? That's the first question. The second question is, what do you consider the perfect first date? Now remember, these are all questions that came off of my page. Because hey Tammy, good evening. Mwah. Peace and blessings. I love to see that you guys, when I ask a question, you guys have no problems answering the questions and jumping on there, and I love that. And please feel free, you can start answering the questions now because there are going to be quite a few different topics, and you can pick and choose. You don't have to answer the first or second question. You can answer the third or fourth question, okay? When I post stuff, it's to have fun. Everybody knows that. It's to have fun. My page is a safe space, okay? If I get the hint, if somebody inboxes me and says, hey, this person jumped in my inbox and they were being disrespectful, you know, I will delete that person automatically and block them off of everything that I post from that point on because I want people to feel comfortable coming to my page and just having fun. But it's not only to have fun, it's to create dialogue, to get people to thinking. That's why this topic is called, or this show is called Thoughts Provoked. It's to provoke your thought. It's to get you to thinking, you know, have you thinking about your answers and help people to realize that we are more the same than we are different. Of course we have differences, and I respect all of your differences, but we are more the same than we are different. So one of the topics that I posted, one of the questions was, can you handle an open relationship? That's one of the first questions. Remember, pick and choose what you want to answer and talk about because I'm going to respond to everything. The second question was, what do you consider the best first date? What did your best first date consist of? Now, you don't have to get down into the nitty gritty and talk about sex. But if you want to, I'm listening. Okay. So, Tammy said, I don't want an open relationship. If I like you, then there is no one else. Absolutely. And I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And you guys know that I will, you know, give a little information about, you know, how I feel. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person that won't discuss my feelings. I'm definitely going to discuss because, number one, I love to communicate with people and I love to talk to people. Now, let me just say this. Since I've been posting those questions, I have had to block a few people because I had people come into my inbox and, you know, and I just want to say, let me say, when I put out a question, has nothing to do with my personal relationship. Sorry. I'm sorry. I know some people may have thought that was an inside scoop or inside track to my personal relationship. Nah. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Those are questions that sometimes pop in my head randomly, and I want to put them out. But before I put them out, I usually try to talk to my manager to make sure I'm not being disrespectful to anybody or make sure I'm not asking too personal of a question. You know what I mean? Just to get his input. You know what I mean? And then sometimes they come from conversations that I have with people on a regular basis outside. And, you know, and I ask them like, hey, I think that'll be a good topic. You know, would you like to tune in and check it out and comment or whatever? Tammy, you also said too many people in your relationship will be too many problems. I'm not built for that. Absolutely. And neither am I. Neither am I, Tammy. Oh, you know what? Let me, I meant to tag some people in this video. Oh well, I'm not, you know what? I could have tagged them before I started, but I don't know how to tag them while I'm doing the actual live. So I'll tag them after this is over. Please remember, doesn't matter if you're watching this on a rebroadcast. If you don't like it, still share it because it may help someone else. Tammy said, a great first date would be a walk on the beach and have a nice conversation. That's definitely a nice date. It's actually very romantic. But at the same time, it doesn't really have to necessarily be super, super romantic. It could be just really nice and, you know, without the romance. Although when you think of a beach, you know, you think of romance, you know, scenery, ambiance, whatever. So that's definitely a great first date. So I'm going to give you some input with me. And remember, there are a lot of different topics that we're going to touch on tonight because some of these are coming from the questions that I post on Facebook every day. So again, one of the questions are, how do you feel about open relationships? Can you handle an open relationship? Please answer the question the way you feel, or please remember to share this video. Second question is, what do you think is the best first date? What was your best first date? Okay? Here's another question, and I like to put this question out. Peace and blessings, Radia in the building. Hey, superstar. You said a walk is always great because you have no choice but to communicate. Absolutely. And people always say that communication is key, and I definitely believe that, but sometimes I'm really bad at communication. I know. We say communication is key, but sometimes I'm really bad at communicating. So thank you. One of the other topics, or one of the other questions on the live or on the page was, if you came into the room and your mate was watching porn. Now remember, you weren't invited. You're in the other room. You are in the other room and your mate didn't invite you, but you open the door and you see your mate watching porn. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? And remember, you don't have to answer that question because there are so many other questions that we're going to be doing tonight. So it's kind of a recap or a rehash of the questions that I've been posting on social media. Okay? And please remember, Radia said, hey, my beautiful sister. Back at you, my beautiful sister. Back at you, young queen, young entrepreneur. Hey. So, Radia has books. She has movie scripts. She has poetry. She has paparazzi. Her daughter has a lip gloss line. She has accessory lines. They're getting it in. Can you say getting it in? They're getting it in. So this is what we're talking about tonight. Okay, so all these different topics. Now, while you guys are thinking of some of the answers to some of those topics, like, how would you feel if, you came in and you were in another room and you came in a room and your mate was watching porn, but you weren't invited. How would that make you feel? Radia says, I'm a little questionable about not inviting me, but I would ask if I could come too. LOL. Yes. Pun intended. How about, yes, honey. Pun intended. Yes. Tammy said, I would ask him, can I watch with him? Absolutely. And that's how I feel. If I came into the room and my mate, was watching porn and I was in the other room and I wasn't invited. Now, you know what? I'm going to be honest. Let me take it back, bring it back, come rewind. Let me bring it back, quickie. I think initially, and I'm just being honest, I probably would be thinking in my mind, like, okay, why didn't you give me a holler and tell me you was watching porn? Like, okay, you're not going to invite me in? That would go through my mind. But I'm not even asking. I'm going to go in. I'm going to bring 2 glasses of whatever we're drinking. I'm going to, make sure I come in, and while you're watching that, I'm going to be putting on something super sexy, and I might even be like, ooh, we didn't try that. Can we try? I'm just saying. Radia said, yes, Tammy, you need some help, bruh. You need some help, bruh. Right, that part. Absolutely. So, I'm not going to lie. Initially, I would be taken aback, but not to the point where I wouldn't go in. I think I would just be like, yo, I'm sitting in the next room. Like, I can't get down. Like, do you know what I mean? I would be thinking. But I would definitely, take the initiative to just, do what I do. You know what I mean? Now, if I got a vibe, which I should never do, if I got a vibe that you were on some solo mission, then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to go in here. You go ahead in there. You stay in there. I'm going to put me a video on in here, and I'm going to have my drink and my candles, and if you hear me moaning, don't come out. Oh my gosh, Radia said, yes, honey. Flip that on them. So, but I think that porn, just to reiterate, I think porn is very healthy. I think that there are levels to it. I definitely think there are levels to it because some people will watch anything. I'm not even going to I'm not even going to talk about everything there is to talk about, but I definitely will be watching with my mate. I definitely will be making sure it's a team. He and I are on the same team and we're watching it together. There will be discussion. There will be practice in theory and practice. I can't remember what it was. I used to go to nursing school. It's been so many years. In theory and in practice. Okay. So, he said, yes, ask him. Let's try that. Radia says, or if he put the phone away when you come in. The phone away. Then you got to think, the phone. Okay. The phone. Explain that one, Radia. I said Radia. Yeah, like right. I had it right. Radia, explain that. You said, or if he put the phone away when you come in. Now, are you saying he's watching porn and he puts the phone away? Or he's watching porn on his phone? What does that mean? Or you just saying in general, if you come in the room and he put the phone away, then you gotta be suspect? Yeah, definitely. Definitely you gotta be suspect. Definitely. You gotta think like, what's that about? Yeah, absolutely. So, but as far as porn, I think porn could be a healthy part of your relationship unless you just don't watch it. If you don't watch porn, then don't watch it. Nobody's trying to influence you to do it. But for those that do watch porn, I think it could be healthy in your personal relationship. Now, I don't think that you should try everything you see. Let's repeat that, shall we? Let's repeat that. I don't think you should try everything that you see on the porn, but I definitely think that in a healthy relationship, porn is great. I think porn is great when you're in a healthy relationship with your partner, two consenting adults, if that's your thing. Now, if you don't watch porn, if you and your mate don't watch porn, then don't freaking watch it. But if you do, I think it can be very healthy. I think you can use it as a extra. Some people say marital aid. I hate that word. It sounds so 40-ish, 1940-ish, but whatever. Marital aid, you can use it just for date night. There are a lot of different things. You have to be careful because everything that they do physically, you might not be able to do. So be careful. That's my warning. Be careful. Okay? All right. Okay. So moving right along. And please remember, you can answer any of these questions that you choose to. All right. So we've gone over, the question of if you come in a room and your mate was watching porn, how would you feel if you weren't invited and you come in and you see that? 2, what is the best first date? Please, if you will, describe in your words your first date, your very first date, but the best one, not anyone, but the best first date scenario possible, okay, that you've had. All right, that's the second question. The third question was what? What was my third question? I can't remember because I got so wrapped up into the porn and the, are you okay with an open relationship? Can you handle an open relationship? If yes, tell us why. If no, tell us why. Or you could just sit back and just watch. Some people are watchers. Tammy said, I agree in a healthy relationship. Yes. And you have to be physically capable, okay? Don't try to jump off the chandelier and swing from the chandelier if you're not. But baby steps, like different wigs, different outfits, some candles, you know what I mean? Dinner, or depending on what time of day it is, dinner or breakfast or a special lunch with candles and sexy desserts. Sexy desserts, things like that. There are a million ways that you can make something very sexy, very intimate, very special. And sometimes it doesn't have to be any actual physical sex involved, but it could be stimulating. You know what I mean? It can be put, to me, poetry can be very sexual. You know what I mean? When you're reading poetry to your mate, when you're writing a short story and you guys are reading to each other, that can be so on point. That can be so stimulating. It can be so inviting and enticing and alluring and just, it can give you goosebumps, It gets your creative juices flowing. It gets your creative juices flowing. Anyway, all right, I'm going to move on to one of the other topics. And please feel free to chime in, do what you do. I'm here every Sunday, God willing, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Facebook Live, Thoughts Provoked, with a different topic. On Sundays at 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m., I am on IG under Nima_L, and that is In the Art Room with Nima. You can go to that page and check out some wonderful interviews with some poets, entrepreneurs, business people, spoken word artists, etc., etc., etc. Okay? There, you can come to social media and get your full share of Nima. All right, so, or you could go to my YouTube page. It's Nima Girl Productions, where you can check out everything. Everything. There's everything. You can have poetry, you can see videos, you can see art, you can see my books, you can see my paintings, you can see In the Art Room old episodes. I do a thing called, which I will not be doing tonight, On the Other Side of the Moon, will not air tonight. That's a little relaxation, breathing, stimulating conversation that I have usually around 1 o'clock in the morning, where I light some candles, take some deep breaths, and we release all the negative energy. And matter of fact, we could do that at the end of this video. We can do our breathing exercise and release all the negative energy. Okay? So there's a lot on my YouTube page, so go check it out. Ask me some questions. Eventually, one day, I'm going to have a Ask Nima Anything questions, where you could post your questions online and I will answer them. But I have to talk to my manager about that because, yeah, things can get a little crazy. So I do have to talk to my manager about that, but I don't know. All right, let's move right along. So one of the other topics that I had on my Facebook page, one of the questions that I asked people that people have been so gracious and so wonderful to talk about and answer. And I'm actually overwhelmed and very happy and very surprised that, people answered those questions. One of the questions was, how do you feel about older men and younger women? How do you feel about older women and younger men? As far as dating, that was another topic. So please let me know what you feel about that. You said, love everything you do. You're so creative and talented. That's because I'm following behind you guys. Thank you, Tammy. I love you. That's because I have Tammy and Radia and Nadira. And I mean, the list can go on and on. Queen Harley, okay, my Ruby sister, and Wanda, all these wonderful queens, all these wonderful people, in my circle that support me, Stacy Wallace Bay, hey cuz, a lot of family members, you know what I mean? Oh, and that was one of the questions, and that brought me to this. One of the questions on my page was, who supports you more, family or friends? And again, who supports your career, your craft, your art? Who supports you more, family or others? And you can answer that. And I realized that a lot of people said others. They said they don't really get family support. That all their support pretty much comes from strangers or friends or friends of friends, but not really family. And I'm going to say to that I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to get family support. I'm very fortunate to get support from strangers and other people, but I'm very appreciative to my family members that support me. And, it's not a lot of them, but it's a handful, and that handful makes it all worth it. You know what I mean? My cousin, again, Stacy, she's always supported me since day one. And my cousin Zinzi, they've always supported me since day one. My cousin Faith, my cousin Beadow, and these are not friends. These are family members. And I can't shout everybody out, but my cousin Bernadette, my cousin D. Monroe, a lot of family members have supported my art, whether it was at an art show and bought paintings, whether it was ordering my books from online, whether it was ordering books from me personally at one of my shows, coming to a play that I wrote, Every Smiling Face is Not a Smiling Face, just being there and supporting, So I'm very grateful for that. But I was surprised that a lot of people said that others, and that just goes to show you that to keep up the great work, keep doing what you're doing. You may have family members that may get on a bandwagon and say, wow, this is where I'm backing your play. And then you may have family members that say, well, what's so special about what you do? Who cares? Anybody can do that. Yeah, that's true. We all have a very special something about us. We all are very unique. We all have our own lanes. Now, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I am a habitual lane crosser and a habitual line stepper. I hate to say it like that, but, sometimes I'm a habitual line stepper and sometimes I'm a habitual lane crosser. But we all have peace and blessings, Brother Carlos Jackson. Thank you for coming into the room. Please share this video. Remember, this topic tonight is just some of the topics that we've covered that I've talked about on Facebook. Some of the questions that I've asked on Facebook that people have answered. If you missed some of this, again, to reiterate, to repeat, some of the questions are, how do you feel about open relationships? Can you handle it? Can you handle an open relationship? A lot of people said no. But surprisingly, a lot of people said yes. A lot of people said yes. I need an open relationship. Some people said, I don't have a relationship to start with to have an open or monogamous relationship. Some people actually said that little do a lot of us know that we're in open relationships and we don't even know it. We may think that we're with one person. We may think that we have this relationship where it's just you and that person, but this person could be living a whole nother life. This person could be doing a whole nother thing. And a lot of people did say that you never know that. Some of us could be in open relationships and not even know it, and that can be dangerous. Tammy says, I feel a little uncomfortable with older men or women who date younger people. That could be their children's age, but as long as they're adults, 21 and up, okay, do you. Okay, Tammy, I understand that. I can understand that, and I definitely, I've seen that a lot with older men dating younger women and vice versa, older women dating younger men, where you're looking at these people, you're like, you have children older than that person. You're like, but you're like, at the same time, it's like, well, these are definitely not my children. So, Brother Carlos said definitely not. So you couldn't handle an open relationship. And you know what? And I agree with you. And by the way, Tammy, I definitely understand that. Thank you for your comment. Brother Carlos Jackson said definitely not. I'm definitely with you on that one, Brother Carlos. I couldn't handle an open relationship. I really couldn't. Now, I'm not going to lie. At some point, I thought at some point that I was capable of handling an open relationship, only because I felt like at the time, hey, man, hey, if we're doing this, we may as well have an open relationship. That way, I don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about wondering if you're cheating, and you don't have to worry about wondering if I'm cheating, and we could just be together when we're together. And I'm like, yeah, I thought about it for half a second many years ago, and I was just like, that's so not me. But I thought about it after I had been married, okay, for some years, and after I got my first divorce, I thought about that. I was like, I'm not ever getting married again. I'm not dating just one single person. We're going to have this understanding that, yes, we are a couple, but, whatever you do on that side, that's between you and them. It's not that we're all joining together and nothing like that, but I know you got somebody over there and I got somebody over here, and I actually thought about that, and I was like, that's not me. It's not me. I'm so what people call old school. And it may not even be old school. It's just the way you are. I like relationships that are one-on-one. That's it. Now, if I don't know that this person is cheating, or they don't know that I'm cheating, that's different. But for the, up front, for the most part, I want to be in a completely monogamous relationship. Brother Carlos Jackson said, when it's an open relationship, people get hurt. I can't. I love hard. Thank you, Brother Carlos. Thank you so much. I'm going to get some claps and some finger snaps, because I'm right with you, brother. I love hard, and I don't want to be hurt. I definitely love hard. I definitely love hard. I'm a very emotional person when it comes to relationships, and you know that's just the way it is. I make no apologies for it. That's just the way I am. So I know that I cannot handle an open relationship. No, 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 not at all. Another one of the questions on there, as far as the Facebook questions, one of the questions was somebody asked me if I was taking a survey. Somebody actually came in my inbox, and number one, they asked me if these questions were about me and my relationship. I said no, not at all. I said I asked them because, like I said earlier, I listen to people talk and we have conversations, and then sometimes they just come out the blue, and I'm like, I want to get people to talking. I want people to see other people's examples, explanations, suggestions, just their answers in general, so that people can think. People can get on the same page and say, oh, I'm not the only person that feels this way. Oh, I'm not a loner. I'm not an outcast. Other people feel the same way. Oh, I feel okay now. You know what I mean? So to create dialogue. But I had to let that individual know that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, they're not about me. But, you know, it's okay. You can ask. So, all right. My next question is, and this might be a little too personal, but you don't have to answer it. You can just bypass it. My next question is, have you ever put yourself into a poem with your ex? Like, if you, let's say you were hurt, you were in a relationship and you were hurt, did you blatantly? Now sometimes it comes out because we're emotional people and we're writers and we're creators, but purposely, have you purposely, like, you know, been hurt and put your hurt, that person, yourself, in a piece together? I know I have in the past. I've actually killed people in stories because I was hurt. And I wrote these people in stories and killed them slowly because I was hurt. Only because I would never do that, but because of my writing, you know, the only way for me to get out the pain was to write them in a story and to actually kill them in the story. So, have you had those moments, or am I crazy? Am I the only one? Just asking. Just asking. Just asking. So this is a fun night, okay? This is a fun night full of Q and A questions. I don't know why. I always like to do this, even if it doesn't make sense to do quotes. You're like, why are you doing quotes? That doesn't make sense. I like it. I like the way it looks. Questions and answers. Questions and answers. You can answer them. Feel free to answer them. Or don't feel free to answer them. It's up to you. Now, we're going to move back some. We're going to move back to the dating scenario. Okay? The best date. And I'm going to put myself out there. My first date ever, best first date, actually didn't happen many years ago. It happened some years ago, but not many. My best first date was actually over the telephone. And I know that's going to sound really crazy, but and I've had a lot of wonderful first dates. I've been blessed to have a lot of wonderful first dates. Tammy says LOL, and she said writing is therapy. Absolutely, writing is therapy. You can kill people, you can bring them back to life, you can talk about them, you can embarrass them, you can do a whole lot to a person in writing. And it makes you feel better. It's like, I got that out. And then when you see them again and they're talking smack, you're just like, I killed you like 50 million times already. You're still here. You still here? So, but my best first date ever was over the telephone. And I know that's going to sound so crazy because I've been blessed to have so many wonderful dates where it's like the scene is something perfect. Like you would think it was, oh yeah, that's every basic love movie on a what is it, on a, not Turner Classic Movie. Oh my gosh. What is that channel? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. That is so crazy. Whatever. There's a channel that comes on and it's around Christmas time. They always have all the best love stories. I can't even think of the darn channel. But, so I'm saying that to say I've had dates where there was a park and blankets and lunch and wine and the sky's perfectly blue and birds chirping and, you're feeding each other and you're doing all this. I've had some of those dates, where you just get in the car and you drive to a city and you go somewhere up high where you can look down on the city and see the lights and, you have the music perfectly playing and the wine or the champagne going. I've had so many of those, and I'm very grateful and very thankful. Um, I've had you know dates where just back in the day. I mean, I'm old school. Back in the day when somebody took a tape and literally sat by a radio and played, listened to the radio and recorded the songs in between the commercials. And that takes a lot of work. Tammy said, yes, it does. They could be your best character in your books. That's a bestseller. Absolutely. Absolutely. So like I said, I've had wonderful dates. But my best date ever was over the phone. Being on the phone and talking to someone for hours. I mean, hours to the wee hours of the morning, from like at night till the sun literally almost came up, talking to them about anything and everything. And though we were only on the telephone, it was so romantic to me. We talked about everything. We talked about their childhood and my childhood and the things we used to watch on TV and the foods that we liked and our favorite candies from back in the day. And we talked about our life in elementary school and junior high school and high school and, and music and books and just everything. Every topic you could think of. Of course, there was some sex talk. But every topic you could think of, we talked about. And it was so freeing. And I felt like I was separated at birth to a degree from this person. I just felt like, whoa, we have so much in common. It was like we were born at the same time and somehow we got torn apart and they were placed. You ever see, okay, I'm very animated. You ever see the movie Clash of the Titans? The old one, not the new one. The old one with Burgess Meredith and yeah. And the lady's husband from Housewives of, oh, never mind. Anyway, but in the old one, back in the day, in the 70s, they would take the individuals and place them in different areas of the world. So, Zeus would place, he took his son and before he gave him Pegasus and all that, and placed him in like an arena. Anyway, but the point is that I felt like the love gods had separated us and put us on different places in the world. And everything we talked about, I could relate to the point where it got kind of scary. I was like, wait a minute. The hell? Tammy said, my best date was when he took me, to dinner and we had drinks. We had a great conversation and getting to know each other, and he was into me. Yes. Isn't that a beautiful thing when you know somebody is into you? Now, we got a lot of fakers. We got a lot of people that fake the phone, okay? But to know that somebody is truly into you. And I get it. People come into your lives for reasons and seasons. I totally understand it. I lived that life. I've lived the life where I've had relationships and tried to make them more than what they were because I'm that type of person. When I'm in a relationship, if I'm not just dating, if we're not just kicking it, I'm looking towards the future. Now, some people say, oh, you got to live in the moment. Live in the moment. Don't worry about the future. Well, I do try my best to live in the moment, but I'm always planning. I'm like, okay, maybe for next week, maybe for next month, God willing that I'm still here. I'm planning. I want to know what is our goal at the end of all of this? Even if we don't get there, where will we like to see ourselves? Even if we don't get there. You know what I mean? It's kind of like somebody asking you, and I don't understand this. How can you go to a job and somebody asks you, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Or where would you like to see yourself 5 years from now or 10 years from now? But when it comes to a relationship, if a person asks you, where do you see this relationship a year from now? Or where do you see this relationship 6 months from now? People will say, well, that's a long way. You can't predict anything. That's a long ways down. And live in the moment, live in the present, don't plan. You shouldn't have expectations. I get that. And if that's how you live, that's great. Kudos for you. But as far as me, I may not be able to see a year from now with you or 5 years from now, but that doesn't mean that my mind is not working on that goal. If we're getting along, if we have great conversations, if we compliment one another, if we help each other and the vibe is good and the energy is good and we connect mentally, spiritually, and physically, I'm definitely going to be wanting to know or learning, trying to learn what's coming up next. Where are we a year from now? You know what I mean? Where are we 2 years from now? Do you see me in your future 5 years from now? You know, so I definitely, again, I can't even remember what I was talking about to get on that, but I'm always working towards a higher goal, higher ground, a greater goal. And I think that, you can start that from a conversation, open communication. And that's one of my, again, that brings me back, like I said, the best day ever I had was over the telephone. It wasn't even a video phone. It was just regular conversation. And the conversation was so good. Tammy says, yes, I like to plan. Nothing wrong with living in the moment, though. Right, true. Let me just show you something. I'm going to use this cup as my telephone. The conversation was so good for hours that I literally had the phone like this to my ear. I didn't want it to move. I started falling asleep, and I had the phone in my ear like this. I laid down, phone was still under my ear like that. When I felt myself falling asleep, I was like, oh. I was like, oh, and I woke up. So anyway, okay, so that was my best day ever. All right, so we're going to move along. We're going to move right along. Tammy, to touch on what you say, older men, younger women, older women, younger men. I honestly, I think 3, 4 years, 5 years, even 6 years is fine, depending on how old that person is. But when you get to, a woman is 20, a woman or a man is 21, and you get somebody that's in their 40s, somebody that's kind of lived that young person's life and now they're ready to settle down. I don't really think that's fair. I really don't. I mean, if you like it, I love it. But I think at 21, this person is just beginning to discover life. I think that at 21, 25, this person is just getting out there, is just is having fun partying, or not even, maybe not partying, but finding themselves, discovering themselves. And they have a lot to discover and a lot to learn. And I think that you have to be careful. You can't help who you fall in love with. You definitely can't help that. Love is love. When it hits you, I'm telling you, love, boy, makes things happen. You never know where it's coming from. You never know who you're gonna love. You don't know. You don't know who you're gonna love. But I think when there's a huge age difference, I think that you have to look at the age difference. What has this person experienced? Now, you have some young people that have had so many experiences in life that they have had more experiences than this older person. But when it's all said and done, when this person is ready to settle down, I don't think that it's fair to assume that this younger person is ready. They may love you, care about you, you have a great time, you compliment each other, it's all well and good. But eventually, some of that growth is still going to need to happen. So just be careful. And I always say this, I'm not a therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist, or counselor. I'm a human being that has been in relationships and have seen the wonderful side, the dark side, and all sides in between of my relationships. So that's all I can say. But be careful if you're an older person dating a very, younger person. There could be some snags, but some people are like, well, I don't date people my age. I like older people because they're settled. That's great. But just make sure you guys have much more in common than movies and music. Okay. Tammy, can you tell me what time it is? She's in my inbox. I can't even get to it right now. You said, yes, I agree. If you're at least 3 to 6 years older, and if you're in your 20s, you are exploring a new journey. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Now I had another topic, and it's funny because now I saw them, and now I can't even see them. I can't even visualize the questions that I had. Somebody asked me if I was doing a survey, and why was I doing a survey? I'm like, no, I'm just asking my friends questions. 9:45. Thank you, Tammy. I'm like, I'm just asking my friends questions. They're just questions. And feel free, ladies and gentlemen, to post your questions and your comments, because as you know, throughout the night into the next day, I will still comment. I will still answer the questions. So if you have a question for Tammy, if you have a question for Brother Carlos Jackson, who's on here, if you have a question for Radia, or you want to comment to their comments, please feel free to do so. All right. One of the questions, I believe, let me see. We had a lot of them were relationship. Oh, that was a good one. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, one of the questions was, do you feel your sex life needs improvement? Now, some people got on here and they said they don't have a sex life, and that's great. Some people said that, if you need improvement, don't be ashamed to talk to your partner and share it and so forth. But how do you, if you think your partner, there's a difference between you needing improvement and your partner needing improvement. If your partner needs improvement, I don't know, I don't know a peaceful way or a nice way to tell your partner, like, hey, you need some practice, or we need to come up with some different things. Even if you say it diplomatically, even if you say it with love and whatever, I think that somehow, some way, there still may be some underlying tension, because I don't know. I don't know how to say that. I really don't. Now, as far as, if I felt like I needed improvement, or I felt like in my mind I didn't satisfy my mate, then honestly, I'm not going to lie. I know me. I would be watching a lot of porn, different things. I'll be reading a lot of books. And don't get it twisted. Porn is not the end all be all. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, for me, a visual aid, I would be watching that. I would be reading books. I would be watching my mate a little more to kind of watch their flow and see what they like and what they don't like and how they react to certain things. You know what I mean? And I would be working on myself, and I would even have a conversation with my mate. That's just me. I know that I would have a conversation with my mate, because Tammy says, what? There's always room for improvement. Absolutely. And I know me, so I know that I would go to my mate, and I actually would share that thought with my mate, like, babe, I love you, and our sex life is, fantastic, but I feel like I can do better. I feel like I can step my game up. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Whether you're a man or a woman, if you go to your mate with that, and you're telling your mate, like, we have a fantastic sex life, but I feel like I can do more. I want to learn some new things. I want to discover some new things and take us on a journey. I'm going to tell you something. Your mate is going to love that. 9 times out of 10, your mate is going to say, you're perfect as you are. You're fine as you are. You don't need to learn anything. But, if you're coming to your mate like that properly, I'm going to tell you, they're going to definitely be with you on that. Even if they feel like you don't need any help, just the experience in general. I see your mate possibly saying, wow. First of all, the fact that you came to them to say that, to express yourself in that way, it's kind of sexy. It's kind of encouraging. It's like, wow. My baby said she wanted to learn X, Y, and Z. My baby said, and you can learn together. You can learn together. Or you can just say, hey, I want you to teach me this, or I want you to teach me that. And I'm going to tell you, that can be so much fun if you just, as long as you two are consenting adults, you're in the same sheet of music, you know your likes and your dislikes. And if not, then you need to tell your partner what your likes and your dislikes are. You need to tell your partner what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. Okay? I know that was a lot of okays. Tell your partner, let your partner know that you're not okay with certain things. And then, you know, on the other hand, express to them that, hey, I love this. You know what I mean? I actually love this. Let's do this. And it can just open up so many doors. It can open up so many doors and create such a beautiful atmosphere and a powerful and strong bond. You know, I get excited when I talk about stuff like that. Oh, almost went up my nose. Anyway, so these are some of the things that I've asked on my Facebook page. So today was a freestyle day to talk about those things and get those things out in the open and share. You said me and my mate talked about doing new things. Yes, and even going to a sex shop and finding new things. Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think we need to have I think we need to have a discussion, Tammy. What do you think? The next Sunday, discussion on different ideas, different things you could do with your mate. You know what I mean? We need to have an adult forum. You know what I mean? Like the next Facebook Live could be strictly adults, you know, intimate discussion on relationships, ideas as far as toys, etc., etc., etc. That might be a good topic. That might be something good for us to discuss. And I love the fact that I ask these questions and everybody jumps on them. But when it comes to the live, not too many people want to come on and admit that they're watching. But I know you're watching. Let me get close. I see you watching. I'm going to say hi to you right now. Hello, because I see you watching. Anyway, so again, this was an open freestyle forum tonight. We definitely will be back next Sunday with an adult topic and dive a little deeper into the relationship world. Okay, dive a little deeper into the relationship world. But I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming on. Please, again, as I say, even if you don't like this video, share this video because it may not be for you, but it may be for someone else. You may realize that you're not alone in your thoughts. It creates dialogue. It creates conversation. It helps us to all realize that we are more the same than we are different. You know what I mean? And that this is a safe space and it's okay to be different if you are different. Excuse me. I had to sneeze. That thing came out hard. It came out hard. It's like, anyway. That you said, yes, we should do that. I really have to sneeze again. I don't know what that's about, but I'm in this video. So anyway, I don't know if it's 10 o'clock yet, but I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Nima Shiningstar L. I am here every Sunday, God willing, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for coming into the room and discussing freestyle, some of the topics that I post on my social media page. And I will be responding to some of these messages. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I mean, I could say so much. You said it's 9:53? Oh, yeah, we can end it a little early today. Yeah, I know. I see your eyes. I know that was a hard sneeze, right? I felt like like somebody was about to come out that sneeze. Yeah, but anyway, so I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in and answering some of these questions. I'm here, God willing, every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch me on IG on Sundays at 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m., and sometimes 8 p.m., depending on how many guests I have. Tonight, I had one guest on IG. Go to my IG page. Check that out. It was Poet Profess Reggie Floyd from Philly. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm going to say right now, I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh and sing a song. But before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys. I love you. Look at my spirit fingers. I don't know what that means. I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.